Good morning, everyone. Look at this little rainbow. It's not a rainbow, but it's a spectrum of pens. That's what I meant, spectrum. These do have some order in them. I wonder if you can figure it out from the little I'm showing you. There is order in this thing. This is one of the drawers that I have of pens that I don't use very often, but they're part of my collection and I really should acquaint myself with them. This is one of the drawers that I have sorted alphabetically. These are often very good pens, but I just don't have very many of them. These are Chilton and maybe Crocker. I can, are there Crockers in there? I don't see any Crockers offhand, but they're Chiltons. These are Diamond Metals and more D pens. These are the C's and D's. If I have more than one or two of them, I have another alphabetical tray somewhere that has maybe three of a kind rather than a larger number. So I thought I would just reacquaint myself with these pens and show you maybe why I have them in my collection. So starting at this end, this is a large Chilton, and Chilton's filled like the touchdowns of Schaefer touchdowns. Let me see if I can find one that actually works. Can I find one that works? Sometimes they had their little, come on, what's going on here? Why aren't any of these working? It's because I haven't used them forever. They have this little sleeve that allows it to pull air in and push down, and it squeezes the sack through pressure. Some of them had the back pulls out, some of them the whole barrel pulls out, and let's see if I can find one that works easily. So no lever. There we go. And then you hold your finger over the end and push down. So the problem with this pen, if you understand it, is you put it in the ink and you have to hold this end, and then you have to use, it's a two-handed thing, but it's sort of clumsy because this hand you have to hold way down here. So an improvement on that system, though I think this is the later version, was that the back end pulled out, not the like this, the whole back end pulled out. So you could hold on to the back of the pen and push down, like a Schaefer. So, oh God, why is that so tight? So let me just show you some favorites in this end of this drawer, and then we'll move down further. One of the things that is, I guess, unique to this brand was the shape of the section and feed. The threads are way back here. There's this extra long bit here that I guess you hold on to when you're doing the filling. And this one is missing its cap lip. It's in rough shape. This one is why is this even here? Kutzler Brothers. I think this might have been made by Chilton. No. Who knows? Baltimore, Maryland. It doesn't belong in this drawer at all. Put that away. Why is this missing its top? See what happens? I don't pay attention to pens. See, this is a personal pen made by Seth Crocker, Boston, Mass. So this was made by the Crocker Chilton Company. Chilton was the son of Seth. So they're child lever. So this is a lever filling Chilton. No, this is a, fuck. Oops, sorry, shouldn't have. Is that made by the Chilton Company? I have no clue. What does it say? I haven't looked at this drawer forever. So, bad me. Okay, where did my loop go? Here's my loop. Where did it go? No, this is the Chai Lever Pen Company. Sponsored by the Chilton Pen Company. What the heck does that mean? Someone knows the answer to that, and I may have known it at one point, but I've forgotten it. One of Chilton's claims to fame were they would, I don't have any of them, but they would inlay these pieces of metal in the barrel and cap, and they were quite stunning pens. This little gold trim on the top, this feathery business there. It also has this, is this the quill pen? Is this what they called the quill pen? It has this feather imprint on the nib. And it's not marked anywhere else. It's not marked anywhere else. So someone will tell me what that is in the comments below because I forget. This one is quite a lovely pattern. As you can see, it's mainly black, but it has these little specks of moss green and raw sienna. And it's really quite pretty, I think. And it has a Waterman nib in it, so there. It doesn't need a water. I probably have a Chilton that I can put in here, but at one point maybe I didn't, or I wanted to play with this pen and I didn't like the nib, so I put a Waterman nib in, and why don't I? And maybe if I like this nib a lot, I should pull this out and put it in a Waterman, but I'll leave it where it is right now. Back in the olden days when I would buy pens, before I went to a pen show, before I bought my company, I would quite often yank out a Parker dual fold nib, which was very stiff, and put a nice Waterman 100-year pen in it, and I'd be much happier. Yeah, I know that there's a spot in hell for me. This has a warranted nib in it. I really have one really nice Chilton. I must have it in a different drawer because it's a Chilton 58. This is a Chilton 58 as well. Big Chilton nib. What I like about this pen is it's missing a band. It never had one. And I really think it's sort of nice, just this full tortoiseshell-ness. It's really quite stunning, I think. What is this one? Chilton. Again, it's one of these piston fillers. I mean, a touchdown kind of filler. This unscrews here to show you how they work. There's a rubber sack, which in this case is useless because, again, I have not used this pen. I put the sack in maybe 20 years ago, and haven't used it since. So this pen I traded friend for, and it has one little flaw up here, a little chip out of the top. But this is Philip D. Morrison. Is this the Philip Morrison that worked on the atom bomb? He lived in this fair city, so this could have belonged to him. Where's my Wikipedia? This could have written down the part of the equation that he was responsible for. You know, they're quite lovely. Philip D. Morrison. I have to remind me to look him up. I'll just do it right now. Philip. How many L's in D. Morrison? I'll find out if this might be his pen. Another Chilton back end filler. This looks like it is a nice. You know, see, this is they're flexible nibs. This one is sort of like a wall Eversharp nib, nice and springy, sturdy. Another Chilton. This one had someone's name in it, and the someone that next had it decided, I don't want that name in it. So he got out his axe. N something, it ends in a W. Oh, big chip there. When he swung his axe, he chipped that big chunk out of the side of it. Some of these pens are in here for good reason, because I can't make them work. This is really sweet. I really like this one. Again, because of their system and where their threads were on the relationship to the barrel here, their caps seem longer than they should be. And they just have an interesting before and after. You know, they're short here, and you normally would think that they would, you know, only be so much longer, but they're in fact quite a bit longer when they're all put together. And that's sort of a surprise. You don't normally think that would happen. Chilton. Another chip off the old block. Boston. This was made in my fair city. They were made in Boston. Is this another 58? 43 D48. I don't know how Chilton's numbering system works. This one comes out the back. Oh my God, that's hard. Tough. I don't have a Chilton nib in it. I have a warranted. When I don't have the correct nib, I put a warranted nib in usually, because at least it's not entirely wrong. You know, it's not entirely wrong. It's a legitimate generic nib. Okay, let's move a little faster here. I'm going to put these two I'm going to show you together. Actually, let's just look at this one here. This is a what? I think this was made by Chilton. Air pressed, they called this one. And pressed is spelled P-R-E-S-T for some reason. Depressed, it should be called. It also has a very nice little pattern on it. Again, made by the Chilton Company, I'm sure. More Chiltons. Is this another air pressed? This was owned by Ray Buckley. No name for a maker. Again, it has that system in the back here, and unless this is seized up. There's some of these that I have not been able to dislodge. You know, in fact, you can see here there's some expansion back here. There was a little rubber gasket or cork or something, that rubber, I suppose, that created the air pressure on the back. See, because of that, this doesn't fit on it, falls right off. So this is one of those things that is just for show until I decide someone can fix it for me. Oh, those are Duns. Here's another Chilton. Nice engraving up there. They were fine. I mean, they're a very quality pen, but I guess because of their filling system, they were always a little cumbersome to fill. These are 2 leather-bound pens that Chilton made. Oh, no nib on that one. That's been shaved down, probably by yours truly, because it didn't screw. So I cut that down a little bit so it would engage the screws. But this is with some sort of scaled. This is snake skin, I think, and this is some other. This might be alligator or something. Seems to me I have another one of these somewhere. I've got the pencil to match this one. That's cracked in half. I have to bring it to a cobbler to have repaired. This one is quite lovely, though. There's something really quite nice about this. These can match my shoes or my purse. Okay, what do we have here? What is this? Banker. What is this even in here for? This doesn't belong here. Doesn't have a nib. Doesn't belong in here. No. Broadway? What does this say? That goes up there. Now why was this down here? Baltimore, Maryland. Hutzler. Okay, so those are misplaced. Okay, let's move this way. Move the tripod. Well, that was nice visiting those Chiltons. Diamond metal. Okay, now we're getting into the diamond. Oh, Dixie. I think I actually have more Dixies in a different drawer. Seems to me that because I have not very many of them, the Dixies are in a different location. I have lots of diamond metals and diamond point pens, and they were second-tier pens, yes, and flashy colors, and this one's broken in half. I think I showed you this on an earlier video, because I had purchased this one and I was going to see which one I could sell. And as I picked this one out of the drawer, it came entirely apart in my hand. So, you want to buy this one? I didn't think so. Here's a Dun pen. I used to have lots of Duns, and they were this pump system. And this has a very nice nib, but the pump system doesn't work. It's one of these that is beyond my abilities. If that's the only one I have, I should probably put that in a different drawer. I had, when I bought my company, I had hundreds and hundreds of Dun parts, which I sold to my friend Otto, I think. Diamond metal. What is this one? Diamond metal. So there's diamond metals and there's diamond points, and are they related? Who knows? What is this doing here? This doesn't belong here. This is a Chilton, part of a Chilton. It goes over there. Diamond metal pen with a big diamond metal nib that I needed diamond metal feed, and I can put that together. Here's sort of a fun diamond metal. This is for your purse, and you unscrew the back, and there you have that, and then it's long enough for you to write with, but it's compact, so it fits in your handbag. I just looked at this one, Pierre Gustafson. This is another Chilton. I use this pen a lot. Oh, here it is. Here's my really nice Chilton. I remember buying this in a store, and the guy said, I have a Chilton 58. And I said, a Chilton 58? Don't you mean a Waterman 58? And he said, no, it's Chilton. But that is a pretty sweet pen. Of all the pens here, this is probably the one that has the most value. So it belongs over there, and its younger brother belongs next to it. What do we have here? Diamond. This is Diamond Point pen without a nib. Diamond P period. P period. Diamond PP, it says on the clip. Diamond PP. What's this one? Collegiate. Yes, we are collegiate. I think they were made by the Diamond Pen Company, and sold maybe for students or marketed for students. Here's another trauma. A meteorite must have hit this. Now this could be, it looks like chips rather than a burn, but rather, oh, and there's a crack in the nib. Diamond Point. What does the clip say on this one? Oh, the barrel says Diamond Point. Not Diamond Point, so this might have been among the first pens that they made. The big hard rubber diamond points are, pretending to be Parker dual folds, which everyone was trying to do back then. Diamond PP again, Diamond Point pen, the number 8 nib, warranted nib, Chicago, Illinois. This is a nice mottled hard rubber Diamond Point. Their nibs are okay. I don't remember loving the nibs. There's nothing wrong with them, but maybe they're just not as flexible as I like. Okay, here's the Diamond PP. Diamond. So diamond is written vertically, and there's a P and a P on either side of that triangular, that rhomboidal thing. And this one is a bulb filler back there. And this is probably clear, so you can see how much ink you have left in it. Well, Mom, you write in your letter, I can see by my Diamond Point Visualator clear section that I'm running out of ink, so write later. Bye. Give my best to whoever the guy is you're shacking up with this week. Your son, Pierre. No, my mother would never do that. I'm sorry, I should have. Your son, Bradley. Okay, diamond metal. Okay, are these made by the Diamond Pen Point people? I don't even know. Chicago, they're from the same place. Maybe they thought Diamond Pen. Who knows? Someone will have to explain this to me as well. Diamond PP. This is neat. This is a big honkin' diamond point pen with nice chasing, teeth marks. Do I have two of these? Diamond, does this say metal or does this say point? Diamond metal. They must have been made by the same people. Diamond metal. I mean, don't they look like they're made by the same people? Diamond point pen. That's a diamond PP pen, so that goes with the diamond PPs. I like this little color combo here with the orangey stripe. They're quite interesting, these little contrasting stripes that they had. Conklin did that too with their Enduras. They would have a little incised line filled with a paint, and the blue had an orange and the yellow had a blue, I think. And it was sort of a nice little thing. Here we go, price sticker. This was $5. This pencil was $5. That seemed like a heck of a lot for a pencil. This is the new Diamond Point Pen Company. I guess there must have been an old Diamond Point Pen Company. Diamond Point. What is this one? Okay, this has just a big D. Diamond Point. Another really lovely color. It's sort of caramel and butterscotch put together in the vat. Again, a pen that doesn't have a band. Diamond metal. A lot of wear along this and little tiny chips out of the cap lip. Dwayne Garrison. How did that name ever happen? How did Wayne ever happen, for that matter? But Dwayne seems like some sort of last name. With a apostrophe and Wayne. I am the Countess Dwayne. You might have noticed my chateau. Diamond metal. And the last one, last and perhaps least. I don't know, did you even see what I'm looking at here because I'm off the edge? Last but not least is another diamond metal pen. Yeah, that's a nice looking nib with big old, you can read that label from across the street. Little rounded end and rounded back for streamlinedness. So why do I have these? I haven't looked at these for years. I mean, I looked at them recently when I was sorting them out, moving them around, and I recently bought this one, so I opened up the drawer to put this in. I bought this one recently, so I opened up the drawer, but I haven't actually taken the cap off of 9/10 of these in years. So why do I have these if I don't even think about using them? I should start selling them. This one has a little tiny black line after the yellow, or the green. That's why I have them. I have them because this is different from that one. This is longer than that one. When I have them that are identical, one of them is not quite as identical as the other, so I have to keep both of them. Now, if this hadn't broken on me, I would be able to sell one of these. Enid, remember Enid? This one does not have a name. I remember actually taking this out and saying, okay, I want to keep Enid because the name on it is nice in my mind. And I thought, well, let's see what kind of nib this is. And I started unscrewing the cap and the whole thing broke off right then and there in front of my very eyes. So that was why. Diamond metal. Does this say diamond metal or diamond point? Enid. It says Enid. Diamond metal. This is another diamond metal. Is the broken one diamond metal or diamond point? Again, I think they were made by the same people. Diamond metal. A few people know the answer. I imagine it might be in a book I have on the shelf right behind me, but factoids generally don't interest me. How the pens write do. And have you seen me, how many pens did you see me write with in these? Very few. So let's just take one. Let's take Philip Morrison's out again. Actually, I want to show you something else. I remember this about this pen that I thought was so cool. All of these things are separate wafers of, make sure I don't, see, these are all separate rings. So you just slide them over the top here, and then all of these are movable. And I thought that is so darn cool. No wonder Philip Morrison, if this is in fact Philip Morrison, the scientist, the physicist, liked this pen when he would go down to the pen. This is really heavy too. It's a very heavy pen. Okay. Philip Morrison. Let's pretend you're the Philip Morrison. So he's sitting in his cell in the, wherever the heck it was, Tennessee, Oak Ridge, and he's writing down his, is that where it was? No, they went somewhere else. Anyway, he's doing his, square root of omega pi epsilon squared. And ta-da, he says, I figured out this one little tiny part of this huge bomb. Here's the bomb. And he figured out that part right there. That's the part he figured out. Meanwhile, Oppenheimer knows everything. And he just makes sure that this part goes there. Richard Feynman, he's working on these things. But Philip Morrison was responsible for that pie. Here's the atom bomb pie chart. The smart guy did this much of it. And Philip Morrison, maybe he did that much of it. And they did it while keeping a secret. Now, how, I wonder, there are people who, another thing about Chiltons that are kind of nice, they have the spring-loaded clip, which required a spring in there somewhere. In addition to putting everything together, you added a spring, which is pretty cool. This one, oh, it does have it there. It is in there, but so I think you were supposed to be able to press down on the back as you were putting it into your pocket. That was the idea. And it wouldn't, because it has a spring in it, it's pressing down on your pocket and it's holding it more tightly in your pocket. I have to, was it a Crocker? I should find it and show you, because what it has is a little barb that comes down and will attach it to, you can't pull it out because this barb goes into the tweed or the herringbone or whatever you're wearing. So in order to take the pen out of your pocket, you have to press down on a little button kind of a thing to pull this up. And what a gimmick, what a silly gimmick, but it was neat, I thought. Okay, as I'm writing with this pen, Phillips pens, it's really back heavy. And it feels like if I let go, it's going to do this and fly across the room backwards, just because there's so much weight on the back end of this thing. I feel more safe by taking the cap off, but I'm not a I am a poster, and part of the reason is because I have so many goddamn pens on my desk at any given time, and I'm working from one to the other, I could easily mix the caps up. But I also generally like the added length to the pen when I'm writing with it. But when I'm using a pen that is abnormally heavy on the back end, I feel a little insecure that it would, if I let go, it was going to do this. So, okay, well, my job right now, I've got two things I need to do. I need to put this back. I need to put these in the correct drawers. I've got a Dixie section, and I don't have a Hutzler section yet, and I think I have a Dunn section somewhere else, so I don't know where, but I have more Dunns than this, so it doesn't belong in this drawer. So, non-breakable Dixie. Where were they from? New Jersey? Where's my loop? Dixie, New Haven, Connecticut. New Haven, Connecticut. Dixie. Seems like it should be from the South. Not from one of those Yankee states. Now, does this have a spring-loaded? See, this does have a spring-loaded thing. That's why I have it over here. Maybe this was another one that was made under the, by, what did it say? By permission? No. By contract? No. By something. This is a really neat I can't tell what it is though. It has a monogram for a B, C, O. Looks like there's an H in there too. What is the name of this pen? HB Co. Oh my God, this is really cool. Okay, this is really cool. I'm going to try to draw the logo for one thing. Put these away here. This is exciting. See, every once in a while I learn things. Ah, I understand. I finally understand it. So the logo is in a circle. Monogram is in a circle. There are big serifs over here in a line. And there's another line. And there's a P. And there's a C and an O. I think the O goes like that in the middle, but maybe it's to the side. I'm hungry. My stomach is telling me I need to eat. Yeah, that's in the middle. So this is really cool. So it's HBCO. And it took me a while to see that the H is shared by the H and the B, which is perfectly fine. But the H is sort of hard to see in this logo because it's just hard to see. You can see the B easily, but it's harder to see the H. Now, over here on the name, the Hutzler brothers. Okay, Hertzler. Just a minute, let me look at it again. Hutzler, Hutzler, Brothers. This is very interesting. Co. Baltimore. So the co is done like this. The first R in Hutzler, the first R is normal. But the brothers, it's really cool how they do that one. There's the BR. I'm going to OTHER. I'm going to show you what they do with the tails here. This one goes way out here like this through the O. And this one goes way over here like this through the S. Now why this one didn't go way over here like that, I don't know. But it's really some adult was hired to do that. It reminds me of a story. My mom and dad and brothers and friends of my brothers were having dinner at the cabin, and hanging from the lamp in the middle of the table, the lamp that was hanging above the table, was this little stained glass butterfly thing that didn't really belong in our house at all, because we have cool stuff, and this was something that you'd expect to buy at a gift shop, which I'm sure is where it came from. And it was given to my brother by a little girl who my brother saved their life, and the life of the father of the little girl. It was a really crazy, wavy day, windy day up at the lake, and my brother decided, well, I'm going to go in the speedboat and go crashing through these big waves, which is fun. It's like a roller coaster, except better. And so they're crashing through the waves, and way off in the distance, there's all these white caps. My brother noticed a white thing, and it wasn't a white cap. It didn't disappear like a white cap did. It just kept there. So he went over there and found an upturned sailboat with a little girl on it. An overturned sailboat. So he picked her up, and she said, well, my dad's over somewhere, or, so they found the dad. I guess he might have had life jackets on, but anyway, they found the dad and the girl, brought him on the boat, and I think they towed the sailboat to the nearest shore and called the ambulance, and the father was deep in hypothermia but was saved. And as a thank you, Todd Gustafson was given this butterfly. He was, in the paper, he was referred to as Area Man, which I thought was... An area man saved the life of two... I was wondering, is there like Volume Man, like a superhero? It's time to call Volume Man. No. We only need Area Man for this one. Okay. So, anyway, my father looked at this thing, and my mother and father both enjoyed their gins and tonic, and they had had a number of them by this time. And my father looked up from his dinner at this thing, and this thing was tiny. It's like this big, and the lamp is this big, and next, intertwined in the lamp over the dining room table were a half dozen deer antlers that my father painted white and sort of placed up here, and there were all these blue and white ceramic balls that I gave my parents to put up there. So there was this clusterfuckage of stuff on this lamp, and my father noticed this interloper in it, and he sort of looked up and he said, he sort of reached up with his hand and sort of flicked it. It was on a string and it sort of bounced around, and he said, "To think an adult made that." And my mother put down her fork. "Wells, you're so superior. That was given to Todd by that little girl." So anyway, there's this joke in our household now when we see something that was manufactured to be sold to little girls that really shouldn't have ever been sold. Here, I'm being so mean. I'm being so superior. But yes, an adult made that. So this belongs here. By permission? What did that thing say? By contract to, by permission. Sponsored. Sponsored. That's a weird thing. Anyway, maybe the Hutzler brothers were sponsored by the... It sounds like, an adoption agency or something. Yes, we sponsor. Oh, what do you do for charity, Mrs. de Villiers? Oh, Mrs. Duane, what do you sponsor? Oh, I sponsor the Chilton Pen Company. What do you sponsor? Oh, I sponsor the children from the that lost their parents to the epidemic. Can I sponsor your pen company too? She says, remembering the brats she has to deal with. I'm so superior. Well, Dixie goes away. This one goes away. The Broadway Pen Company goes somewhere under B's. And the Dunn Pen Company. This looks like this was made by, well, no. I thought this was made by the Morrison Pen Company, but who knows who made it under the name Broadway. And Dunn belongs somewhere else. Well, this has been almost an hour of you listening to me yammer, but I'll stop now. I have another tray I'll bring out another day. I'm trying to think of other lines to my rhyme, but I can't, so goodbye.